The archaeological news is packed with fascinating stories this week. Join me as I run through them and add my own unique piece of commentary at the end. My lead story this week is about the prehistoric cup marks that have been rediscovered in Cornwall because I do love a piece of Neolithic artwork. Prehistoric cup marks found in Cornwall reservoir. Under the rather unfortunate circumstances of the very intense heatwave, prehistoric rock art and artefacts have emerged from Stonehenge reservoir near Falmouth in Cornwall due to a drop in water levels. Many stones with shallow depressions known as cup marks have been revealed, and although an exact date cannot be given, they probably belong to the Neolithic or Bronze Age. Flint and axes were also uncovered from the same reservoir. Similar stones have appeared in the past in the Drift Reservoir in Penzance, and there are numerous other examples in the Cornwall area. Evidence for medieval farmsteads was found on the shoreline of the Stonehenge reservoir as well, an area that's normally underwater. It's not the first time that the cut marks have been observed. However, they have never been studied in any detail. Some of the stones have around 25 cut marks in them. This kind of rock art can be found in many other places all over the world that were settled in prehistoric times. The meaning of these symbols has never been determined, but may have had magical or astronomical significance. Sometimes they are found alongside other motifs, such as cup and ring marks as well. These are where a series of concentric circles are carved into the rock. Archaeoastronomer Carolyn Kennett kindly gave me permission to use her photographs. I've put links to Carolyn's Twitter and Instagram in the description below. Take a look at her work. The subject of archaeoastronomy is really interesting, and I'm getting into it a lot at the moment. Temporary Neolithic exhibition opens in Orkney. The ongoing excavation at the Ness of Brodgar in Orkney has uncovered a complicated settlement and numerous finds since it started in 2004. A new exhibition featuring many of the artefacts from the site has now opened at the Mace Howe Visitor Centre and will run until the 12th of August. Visitors are able to picture what life in Neolithic Orkney was like by viewing a wide range of finds, including mace heads, pottery, tools and carved stones. A grant from the Orkney Islands Council Culture Fund has contributed to the launch of this temporary exhibition, which is also supported by Historic Environment Scotland and the Stromness and Orkney Museums. The exhibition is free of charge for visitors and is also a part of Scotland's Year of Stories, organised by Visit Scotland. Visitors who wish to go inside the Mace Howe Chambered Cairn whilst they are there need to pre-book online due to limited space. New study analyses geographic variations in diet in Bronze Age Italy. An article published in Scientific Reports details the results of a Bronze Age study into food habits on the Italian peninsula. The researchers carried out stable isotopes analyses at 6 Italian sites, which date between 2300 and 900 BCE. Both human and animal samples were included. They then compared the results of these analyses to extant data on another 19 sites in the same country. In this image, the research sites are marked in red and the other sites are marked in black. The study found that in the north of Italy, a change in diet occurred during the transition period from the early to the middle Bronze Age. This change in diet, which was more varied than before, then spread throughout the Italian peninsula. The researchers suggest that this change was probably due to overexploitation of soil, deforestation, or climatic influences, or a combination of all of these, which meant additional food sources needed to be found. Trade with other parts of the Mediterranean and Europe probably also led to the sharing of new agricultural practices, meaning additional resources could be exploited. Bronze Age house found at Trelai Park in Cardiff. The Carrow and Ely Rediscovering Heritage Project has discovered what might be the oldest house in Cardiff during an archaeological dig. Located almost a kilometre from the Carrow Hill Fort, which dates to the Iron Age, but where Neolithic, Roman and medieval finds have also been uncovered, it was hoped that the Trelai enclosure might shed light on the transition period between the Iron Age and Roman times. However, the roundhouse was found to date to the Bronze Age, making the site one of only several settlements in Wales found so far which date to that time period. A clay pot excavated from the enclosure ditch is in excellent condition and further investigations will be done on it. It's possible that the descendants of the people who inhabited this settlement went on to found the Carrow Hill Fort in the Iron Age. Figurine discovered in Bavaria may have been an Iron Age ritual offering. Construction works in Bavaria to build the Montstockheim bypass have uncovered a prehistoric clay figurine alongside pottery and tools. The figurine is 19 centimeters in height with 10 perforated holes in it, 5 on the left side of the face and 5 on the right, and dates to between the 8th and 6th centuries BCE. Since the figurine was recovered from a gully and doesn't show signs of the erosion that would be expected if it had washed in there, researchers have suggested it may represent a water deity and may have been deposited there on purpose as a ritual offering. It's thought to have belonged to the Hallstatt culture, who lived in much of West and Central Europe during the Late Bronze Age and Early Iron Age. Similar figurines have been found near the Black Sea, but these date to the 5th millennium BCE, making them significantly earlier than this find. Excavation of Arthur's Stone gets underway. As I mentioned in my last news bulletin, plans had been approved to excavate the Neolithic dolmen known as Arthur's Stone in Herefordshire, England, for the first time in its history. The dig is now underway, and the first finds have emerged from the site. According to The Guardian, archaeologists have found stone steps which probably led to the tomb originally, and tools. By using drones, the team have also identified sites in the surrounding area that may hold the remains of further Neolithic burial tombs. Professor of Archaeology Julian Thomas, who's in charge of the dig, thinks that Arthur's Stone may have been connected to other sites in the area, such as Dawston Hill and Cross Lodge. Considering that Arthur's Stone is a scheduled monument, archaeologists are using careful keyhole sampling to explore the site. The dig has attracted visitors from all over who are keen to watch this important excavation take place. Stonehenge photographed using drones and artificial lights. Chicago-based photographer Ruben Wu and drone pilot Zach Henderson recently photographed Stonehenge like never before for the August edition of the National Geographic. According to Digital Camera World, the 3-hour shoot used a drone attached to an artificial light on the end of a long pole to photograph Stonehenge from different angles between sunset and nightfall. I don't have permission to use those images, so here is a freely accessible picture of Stonehenge at sunset. Drones are not allowed to be flown directly over the monument, so it was kept at a safe distance with all the appropriate permissions granted by the military and English heritage. The long pole then brought the artificial light closer to the megaliths to create the desired effect. A time-lapse video of the shoot and some of the stills can be viewed on National Geographic's website, and a composite image will feature on the cover of the August print edition of the magazine. That's it, so let's discuss. The cup and ring marks are something I haven't talked about much in my videos, but there are hundreds, if not thousands of them all over the place. In fact, there are hundreds in Galicia alone. Then there are examples in Italy, Finland, Switzerland, even Hawaii. They may have been merely a decorative type of art, but it's more likely that they had a ritual or astronomical significance. Considering that many of them are found near or on megalithic monuments, it's possible that their roles were connected. I favour an astronomical explanation, perhaps partially functional but also ritualistic. It's something I definitely want to look into more. I also wanted to comment on the prehistoric figurine found in Germany. You may have noticed I do find the concept of ritual offerings in the ancient past really interesting. The Bronze Age seems to have been a really active period for water-related deposits, so it's possible water cults were very popular then. However, the exact nature of these beliefs is pretty hard for us to understand from finds alone. Since the Iron Age figurine in Germany is reminiscent of ones found near the Black Sea, which date to the Neolithic, it's a tantalizing prospect to consider a link between these cultures. Perhaps certain beliefs and practices were passed down over thousands of years, albeit with some variations on what went before. It's quite possible, and that's why I like looking at slightly later time periods as well, because, for example, what was practiced in the Greco-Roman world may have been inherited from much more ancient times. The idea that Arthur's Stone may have been connected to many other monuments in the area, some of which have yet to be investigated but are showing up on drone images, is really interesting. I imagine a sort of ceremonial pathway, a pilgrimage route of sorts. Perhaps there were regular rituals and feasts to worship the ancestors. Let's face it, these monuments were meant to last. Perhaps their steadfastness represented the immortality of the soul And it's that belief in the afterlife that was celebrated by annual processions across extensive megalithic landscapes. I'm not saying that all megalithic monuments were connected. Many don't even date the same time period, but I imagine they were planned more as complexes than isolated structures. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Sources are in the description below. Please hit the like button. Come and find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram if you want more ancient history content. I'm also on Patreon. Thank you very much to my patrons. And take a look at my website, megalithhunter.com.